Whoa, budget kitchen makeover. So this is the kitchen that we had when we moved in. We decided to sand the floor. We also wanted to lift the colour, so we stained it as well. Then it was time to tile. We had to take 2 layers of tiles off this wall. We decided to do a really easy pattern just to keep our lives simple. Then we decided to paint the kitchen cabinets. We used Zinta Bin primer and Farrow and Ball paint in railings, which by the way is banging. And this was the progress of that. Obviously, you need to change the handles. I got 20 of these for £13 on Amazon. Here's the living room being taken over. Starting to come together. Giving it all a big clean. Look at the shine on these cupboards. And this is the result. Let me know how much you think it cost in the comments. Decorating my bathroom with Beige 03 Part 1. So I ordered a couple of different paints, but in the end we did go with Beige 03, our original choice. I just absolutely love the colour. So this was the bathroom before. It was very white, very clinical, and it didn't really do the room justice being that pale. So I thought it was time to make it a little bit more expensive with Beige 03. Just look how lush the paint is. I love it. So here I am, painting the walls. So we were only meant to do these 2 walls, so the one with the window and the one by the door, but I loved it so much I was like, sod it, I'm going to do the whole room Beige 03, which was a tiny bit annoying because we'd already painted behind the radiator. But honestly, it was so worth it. The bathroom looked really expensive with the Beige 03. Be sure to follow along to see what we do next. What a transformation, decorating my bathroom with Lick Paint in Beige 03 Part 2. So I decided that I wanted to build a slat wall in this bathroom. The wall was completely bent, so I thought this will hide the little nasties in the corner. And obviously my math skills meant that we were 1 short, so I had to pop back to B&Q and get another one. So that was quickly resolved, thank gosh. But this is the result of the makeover. Beige 03 on the walls, slat wall, prints from Desenio, bits and bobs from Dunelm, B&M and IKEA. Follow along for the rest of the house.
Would you paint your window?
Baby, work it.
Can I paint my floor tiles? Yes, you can. Okay, so a year ago, I primed my tiles with this Rust-Oleum paint, and then a year later, I finally got around to finishing it with these Rust-Oleum decorative chips in a mocha blend, and I used foam rollers for this job with a pole. So I got straight in the other day and painted and just quickly sprinkled on the mocha chips and repeated the same process throughout the whole floor. I used this HG tile protector in number 14 and did 3 coats of this to give it a robust finish. And honestly, I'm absolutely loving it. This is the result. I also painted my walls just to pick out the mocha pigment in the chips. And so far so good. It's hooverable, cleanable, and I love it. Whoa, hallway transformation. So here is a quick recap of what I looked like before. This is when the wallpaper was off. I filled in the gaps and did a base layer of paint. Then I needed to paint the radiators in black 01 from Lick. I needed to find a colour for the walls, so I did a few samples of teal, taupe and black. And I needed to paint the ceiling quick. So as you can see, I decided to go for teal 01. And now it's time to put the paneling up. So I needed to measure that and cut it with a miter saw. I painted and primed them before I put them on the wall. I needed a gun, no nails, and a leveler. As you can see here, just gluing them on and then just making sure that they are level. Fast forward 7 months and I finally got around to finishing the floor. So I gave it a paint and I sprinkled terrazzo chips on and decided I didn't like the colour anymore. So I went for a warmer tone, and this is what the hallway is looking like now. I absolutely love it. It really just makes me feel warm and welcoming when I walk through the door. And Hugo loves it too. Whoa, I cannot believe this dining room transformation. Okay, so I decided to start with upcycling the furniture that I already had. So I sanded my table and gave it a varnish. Also needed to clean the legs, but I decided to just paint them black instead, easier. So then it was time to make the feature wall, so I just mapped this out with some frog tape and painted it beige. Went up to the ceiling for a nice little, touch. Added a few wall sconces, used black tape to frame out my patio doors, which I think looks insane if I do say so myself. I then sprayed my shelves, popped up some curtains, painted my chairs again. And then I upcycled my placemats, which I love, by the way. Added a little bit of lighting, super cool. And then I styled my shelf. And this is the result. Like, I actually can't believe that I only spent £60 on a couple of pieces for this. I just love it and I can't believe it's mine. Installing our reclaimed parquet flooring. So I managed to grab this parquet off Facebook Marketplace for under £200. We bought this adhesive, which meant that we didn't need to scrape the bitumen off the bottom of the parquet, which was a lifesaver. So we needed to find the centre of the room and work outwards. It was a tiny little bit wonky, but it was no issue at all. So next we had to do the edges, and we tried to do this with a handsaw and it was literally solid. So we went out and bought a mitre saw, and that literally, if you're thinking about doing it, buy one. It was 60 quid and it saved us so many hours. So then we hired our sander to do the sanding and used a hand sander for around the edges. Then I used just a basic clear floor sealer to seal the whole floor, which is basically the end of the project, thank gosh. And here you can see when it's dry. So then we just needed to put the skirting boards on. And this is the result. Make sure you follow for more tips and tricks like this. Renovating our master bedroom, it was in a bit of a sorry state. So we ripped up the carpet and I bought reclaimed parquet flooring. Then we went ahead and got rid of all the skirting boards because they were a bit old. Got the room plastered, and then it was time to decorate with white 05 from Lick. And this is the result of the bedroom. Still got some decorating to do, but I'm so pleased with how calm and chill it feels. Follow along for more renovations. Giving our loft a temporary makeover while we wait for planning permission. So I decided to paint the loft in a green 02 from Lick, and this is how that was looking. This was months ago when we were using the loft as an office. Then we decided, right, this is the warmest room in the house, so let's move our bedroom up here, and I got to work decorating it just to try and give it that sort of nicer feel. So I painted the stairs, painted the windows, painted the skirting boards, painted the floor, painted the ceilings just to try and hide that Artex. I then wallpapered one of the walls and added a picture moulding to this as well. We then brought the bed up and styled it, and then I thought, this needs a new look. So I styled it like this, and I think it looks really cool. And then I did the other side of the room, and this is how it was looking. Make sure you follow along for more videos like this. Whoa, okay, I can't believe I have just updated my coffee table with £1.50 bins from Asda. So the coffee table, the top was from IKEA for £6, and I got the legs on eBay, and I just wanted to give it another update. So I decided to put a marble DC fix on it, and I wanted the sort of Japandi style legs that are all over Instagram at the moment. So here I am, just making sure that they're symmetrical and screwing them in. Just checking that they're sturdy, pretty good to go, and this is what it currently looks like. I wanted to give it a bit more pizzazz. I was going to dowel the edges, but my friend suggested this paint, so thought I would give it a good old go. It needed a few layers, and I might have even needed a new tin, but this is the result. This makeover cost me £9.50. I'm very impressed with it. Okay, yep, I've got bins as table legs, but if it looks like this, then who cares? Let me know what you think. Whoa, paneling my wall in an afternoon. Okay, this was the wall before. I then needed to measure the wall and make sure I got the accurate mathematics. I needed no nails, a glue gun, pencil, a tape measure and spirit levels. I then just went ahead and glued straight onto the wall, cut the wood and started putting it on the wall with the glue. And then from here on out, it was honestly quite simple. It just all sort of fitted into place. I did mess up the mitering though, so be sure to double check when you're doing this. Filled in the edges with wood filler and caulk. I then sanded, primed, and that's how it was looking. And then it was time to paint with the Lick White 05. And this is how it looks. I completed this hungover on the weekend in an afternoon. I just had to paint the next day because it wasn't dry, but absolutely obsessed with the result. Let me know what you think in the comments.